Hey the berries, welcome to a live edition of 12.21 patch notes and support tier list. The reason why I'm having to do this live, if you're watching this on YouTube, is because I've got my stream open for 7 days for 24 hours. The TLDR behind that is that I'm doing it to basically make sure that basically Twitch want me to play a lot of ads, but once I've met a certain hour criteria, then I don't have to play as many ads later on in the month. So the first week is going to be a lot of ads, unfortunately, but then after that, from the 8th of November onwards, if you're not subbed to the channel, then you shouldn't get that many ads. It should be a much more enjoyable experience. So I've been leaving up my stream overnight and stuff, and playing my YouTube videos and stuff. So it's been an experience. We're only on day 2 at the moment. Because of that, it means that we have to do this live. So we're going to do one take champion here and see how it goes. I haven't even read the patch 12.21 patch notes because I haven't had enough time because of all the things I've been doing lately. So I'm going to be going through this now and reacting it kind of live, which I don't usually do. Usually I skim through the notes beforehand, and then I'll be actually manually tweaking the tier list live as well. So yeah, I don't feel like there's going to be too much to change and going into this tier list. Usually the last patch of the season isn't too dramatic, but we'll see. And then there's also Cassante, which I don't think is going to be support viable, but I'm sure there'll be some people that will try and do it. But for the last patch of the season, I highly recommend that you do not play Cassante in your ranked games if you care about LP. Okay, what are the patch highlights? So what was it? Belveth nerf, Blitzcrank nerf, Misfortune nerf, Ari, Corki, Malzahar, buff. So yeah, as expected, not really too much going on in terms of at least the support role. We'll have a look at that Blitzcrank nerf. It might impact it a little bit. I've got a feeling that Misfortune one probably won't even be that big of a change. I feel like overall she's in like a good, fun place right now. She might be just slightly OP, so I'm like slightly on the stronger end. So I can imagine that they're probably tweaking something in order to make sure it's not as powerful. Looks like these little color bars, I don't know if you can see, indicate like what kind of ELO they're trying to hit. So it is iron to gold that they're trying to hit on the Misfortune, whereas for the Blitzcrank they're aiming for plat to challenger. So just in case you're not aware of that. So yeah, Cassante is being released. Very cool. Very excited. Ari is what's she getting? Mana cost on her Q decrease, so she's getting a buff. I'm kind of surprised. I think Ari's in an okay place right now, but a little Ari buff on her Q. Belle is always she's one of the junglers that kind of sucks because it's just she is one of the stronger junglers that is eyed up for bans. Usually it's like Belveth, Kha'Zix, Viego, Hecarim's been annoying lately, so is Sejuani. It's actually, the jungle is actually in such a strong position right now. It's I don't think it's like been this strong for, I mean, it's always been like strong, like really good, but I think it's like, I think jungle is actually OP right now. The amount of champions that are just like completely just broken is just beyond belief right now. And hey Rudd, thank you for the sub, much appreciated. Thank you very much. So Belveth's E cooldown going up higher. I believe that's the one that makes her take damage reduction. So she can do that a little bit less often, so that's nice, I guess. And then her ulti, she gets a little bit less health on the ulti. It's not really that big of a nerf. As I said at the start, I wasn't expecting too much here. And this kind of plays into that. It's not really that big of a change. So what's the Blitzcrank change? Blitzcrank, I believe they nerfed Blitzcrank's base stats last patch as well. But they're reducing his health, they're reducing his magic resist, and reducing his attack speed on his W. I think they've done that again. Yeah, I don't know. That magic resist hit is actually quite big. 4 base magic resist early, which means he's more susceptible to, like, if he misses his hook, it means like champions like Zyra are going to be able to punish him quite a bit more, especially with like the 20 less health there too. So he's definitely going to be more squishy. And they changed how his passive worked as well, so they made it so like the shield gives less value early in lane. So the Blitz is definitely getting more squishy actually in laning phase. This might actually drop him down a tier. I'll have to look at the tier list where I placed him. If he's in tier 1, I don't think he's tier 1 anymore. Because that is quite a big early start nerf, honestly. Trying to stop Blitz max W for W for jungle. I've barely seen Blitz in jungle. I haven't even seen one jungle Blitz in any of my games. And thank you very much to... Who subbed? Wit. Thank you for the prime sub. Thank you very much. Right. Corky. Was Corky even one of the label champions that was getting nerfed? Or buffed? Oh, he was. Buff. Yeah, sorry. I just kind of missed that. Alright, Corky is getting buffed. He kind of needs it. He's kind of not being played at all right now. That's fine. I'm happy with that. Now, this Malzahar E, I did talk about this actually on stream last week. So Malzahar's E will now execute minions. Expect to see more Malzahars in your games this week. That's going to help people last hit like crazy. Execute minions below 15 health to 45 health between levels 1 and 11. That's insane. It's actually insane. I don't think he will still have to like do a little bit of damage to the cannon minion with like a Q and some auto attacks maybe in order to like be able to kill the cannon minion, but like he will be able to kill the melee minions and the caster minions generally pretty easily. So yeah, that should make Malzahar a lot more fun to play as well. Alright, so this is the Misfortune nerf. E AP ratio increased. Oh god, are we going to see more AP misfortunes now? Initial slow decreased. Slow AP ratio increased. So they're buffing AP misfortune. So plus 20% AP ratio on her E. They've nerfed the base amount of slow. So that's going to affect AD misfortune. So AD misfortune has 10% less slow on her E forever. Whereas initially the AP will, an AP misfortune will still have that in the early parts of the laning phase, but she'll be able to scale past that eventually. Might still technically be an AP misfortune nerf in terms of like the actual slow, but the damage increase is quite nice, I guess. 120% AP. It's quite a lot. There's not many champions in the game that have an AP ratio of a plus 100, let alone higher than that. So yeah, that's yeah, and we've got more AP ratio on her ulti, but only by 5, but there's still quite a lot. So yeah, I can see more people seeing this and then trying AP misfortune more. It's gonna, like, AP misfortune's always been annoying, but the damage fall off like outside of laning phase has always been really bad. And I think it's still gonna be quite bad. We'll have to see where this goes, but yeah, it's like, it's an AD. Wasn't it supposed to be a nerf? So yeah, DL, it is a nerf for AD misfortune, and that's what she's primarily been played at and will still be played at. This is just an AP buff for people that want to play AP misfortune, I guess. So yeah, they seem to like AP misfortune, which is kind of, I don't know. I don't like AP misfortune personally, but I can see it being fun at the start of laning phase. So there was an on adjustment, right? Sometimes there are bugs that end up becoming features. On Ultimate has been inflicting a 60% slow for some time now, and we've decided to make this feature official as of this patch. It says it as an adjustment, but it's a buff, right? I don't know why this is an adjustment. So, but it seems like his ulti was doing this anyway, I guess. So Ornn's ulti will do 60% slow, but it seems like it was probably doing it anyway. I don't know. That's a works. Just yeah, okay, whatever. Zin, I haven't seen that many Zins lately, and he was pretty strong when he was like in the meta. Zin, 3rd hit bonus damage. It's gone up dramatically. Look at that, 45% AD to 60%. What the hell? That's insane. Heal amount is only slightly higher with the AP. So that 3rd hit bonus is going to be massive. Absolutely massive chunk. Okay. E dash gone down. So we could end up seeing a little bit more like AD Zinzals coming in. But I don't know if it's going to be stronger than the assassins that are currently being played right now, since they're all melee. And melee champions generally counters in. And then you've got the tanky like Sejuani's and Shens and stuff like that, which do a ridiculous amount of damage anyway. I don't think the Zin could go through that, so I don't know if this is going to be enough of a change to see him back. But I mean, the jungles have tons of options anyway, so I don't know. This is like a very strong buff. and it will decimate everyone apart from the other junglers, I think. We'll have to wait and see. Okay, so game remake update. So this is quite an important thing actually for everyone that needs to be aware of then. I wasn't aware that this was going to be happening. We're shortening the remake timer so that you're able to remake a match when someone absence would start affecting the match's competitive integrity. If they've been gone from the start of the game, if they've been gone, that's a full stop. This patch isn't significantly modifying the underlying systems, and additional work is planned to make remake functionality more resilient. For a more comprehensive explanation of the feature, I'm not going to click that. Remake is available at 3 minutes to remake is available at 1 minute 30 and 3 minutes. Okay, that's good. Because like if someone's not moving in Fountain at 1 minute 30, they've already basically entered. Because they can't get to lane in time, and they can't, if the jungler can't get to his camp in time for a pull and stuff. So it's, yeah, okay. That's a good change. At 3 minutes, the impacted team has 60 seconds to start a vote by typing /remake in chat. If the remake conditions are met between game start and 3 minutes, teams will have from 1 minute 30 to 3 minutes to start. Wait, what? That doesn't make any sense. At 3 minutes into the game, the team impacted, or does it mean like 3 minutes, not 3 minutes from the clock, but like 3 minutes onwards from that? That's really confusing how they've put that, because it makes it seem like it's, I don't know. Yeah, okay. Basically, remake is more friendly, whatever. You can remake a game a little bit more easier early at the start of the game. It's still kind of confusing how they put that. And you can now remake in ARAMs, guys. Woo! Any ARAM players? Shame on you. What are the skins for this patch? I'm kind of curious because I did hear there's going to be a new Nami skin, but oh, the Inferior Pike skin. That didn't look very good in the trailer, but I'm looking forward to that. I don't think the Lux one looks any good though. But the Inferior Pike is one to keep your eyes on. Okay. Oh, the title of my stream is currently says AFK. Oh, really? Currently AFK? Oh, my brain's currently AFK. There we go, let me fix that. Alright, let's go over to the actual tier list. Okay, so first things first, Blitzcrank, I think those changes there where it was, what was that? It was magic resistance, base nerf, health nerf, attack speed nerf. I think he was, in my head, he was kind of he was like just about in tier 1 because of the last nerfs. So yeah, I think officially he's now like tier 2. I still think he's a solid pick. I still think he's going to be very good in solo queue. It's just his early laning phase is now much more fragile to the point where it's like, I don't know if you guys are aware of like how Thresh is actually pretty squishy early, especially now when he's been taking like Glacial Augment, like so has Blitzcrank. So Thresh's early game is actually gone from like reasonably tanky, like he can afford to make 1 or 2 mistakes, to maybe like he might not even get away making 1 mistake. So particularly in high elo anyway, when you can get punished a lot. So yeah, so that's definitely quite a big Blitzcrank nerf. Obviously he's still got a lot of power in his hook if he does manage to make the hook play and pick, and you know, he's still got that. But if you do, as I say, if you do screw up, then that screw up is going to be felt a lot harder. I mean, in terms of other support changes, let me just go through some stuff. So tier 5, bunch of garbage champions. You should never play those. Tier 4, I mean, Yumi's always been good in competitive high elo. I talk about this a lot. So like Yumi's absolutely garbage in silver or below. Once you start getting like better AD carries, better junglers, then Yumi starts becoming more powerful in my opinion. But I don't think, like, I know there's a lot of people in silver that love playing Yumi, but honestly it's like, get good at something else and then switch to Yumi at like plat. Honestly, that's the way to do it. A lot of these champions are here as well because they are also high mechanical based, right? So this tier list, my tier lists are always dedicated to people that are unranked to very low plat. And like Pyke, for example, is a deadly champion in high elo. He is like pretty scary. But I will say that a lot of people can't play him properly, and people don't follow up on stuff properly. So you'd find, like, unless like you're very mechanically gifted and you're presumably, then your macro is probably terrible if you're still silver. then you're not going to be able to mechanically play Pyke to the proper potential minimum that is required to play this champion. Moving up here, like Lux is still going to be pretty good. So I mean, the AP poke champions are like okay, they're around about a 50-ish% win rate, 50, 51. Generally, there's better mages to take. Like up here in tier 2, we've got like a Brand. Brand is doing particularly well again. Especially in bronze, iron, bronze, silver. Gold, he starts to fall off a little bit, but Brand is like the go-to one still if you want that raw damage. Otherwise, you want to play Zyra. Zyra is just like really good AP in terms of in every single ELO, so that's like your kind of AP route. So yeah, I would say like in bronze, Brand is probably better than Zyra, and then silver onwards. Silver, they're probably the same, and then gold onwards, Zyra is better. Going to the other tier 3 champions, Ashe is like a really fun champion to play. I love playing her, but once again, like she's incredible. If you make one positional mistake, you will die. But she is hell of annoying to play against in the mid game with her low cooldowns. Pretty fun champion to play if you just want to play a fun champion, honestly, and still be relevant. Kind of the same with the Shaco. I don't like playing Shaco, but he's doing alright. He's a clown in game, and the players that play him are IRL too. So he's kind of a fun champion to play too. So those two champions are quite fun. This Maokai pick, tier 3, I'm actually going to move that into tier 4. I'm not happy with that at all. I think Maokai support sucks. Nobody should do it. Especially in the lower ELOs as well. Don't do Maokai. That's going to annoy some people, but just don't do it. We have, what else? We got Leona's still okay in tier 3. I think the tanks, I don't know what's coming in for next season. I haven't analyzed it properly, but tanks right now are starting to fall off again. There was like they were popping up again, and then like, you know, and then we had some direct nerfs, like Blitzcrank, for example. The last couple of patches has been directly nerfed. Amumu, if you want to, is actually really, really strong right now still. No one really plays him that much, so the data on him is still quite low, but I think overall his overall potential is insanely high, especially in gross group team fights. So Amumu is like the tank you want to play, even though it's kind of weird in terms of like everything. But yeah, Amumu is actually probably the best tank support you can play right now. Then Blitz, and then I would probably recommend maybe Leona slightly more than Thresh. You got Rel there as well. Rel's more of a niche champion. If you're like one trick Rel, you could probably make some stuff work there too, especially if you're duo, if you're AD carry. I guess you could also classify like Tarek under that kind of tank tier as well. Tarek's actually not doing too bad either. Once again, one of the more mechanical champions that you have to play. So if your mechanics are really bad, don't even play him. But you can catch up some people quite nicely. If you're really good at dropping your ulti as well, it can be really, really good too. One of the kind of picks here which not a lot of people have been playing or talking about either is Renata. Renata's a solid tier 2. I would even argue, we can make some arguments to say she's even tier 1. Renata has amazing potential in team fights with her ulti. Her laning presence is pretty good. You can definitely save a couple of teammates every game with a few W's, which saves the enemy team from getting around about 1,000 gold every single game. So it's Renata's W is balanced, shall we say. But yeah, they have a revive champion as well. The Zillion's also tier 2. The revives are particularly quite powerful at the moment when there's so much high damage, burst damage coming out onto like AD carries and stuff. That definitely can be the thing that can screw over an enemy assassin over, waste their time even more, and then your carry then gets to revive and clean up stuff. Soraka, I'm having a tough time placing Soraka at the moment. I actually think I might put her into tier 3. There was a time when she was a solid tier 1, but I feel like she's fallen off slightly. So I'm going to put her in tier 3. That's going to probably make a lot of people sad, but I think Soraka has fallen off slightly. She was very, very strong at the start of the season, when Moonstone had all of her stacks before they had introduced the mid-season patch of nerfing healing and stuff. But I don't think she's fully recovered since then, and she's been like, you know, I think we did move her into tier 3 a couple of patches ago, brought her back up to tier 2, but I think tier 3 is the proper place for her. So Soraka's been moved down to tier 3. If you want to play healers, Nami's an all-rounded nice champion to play, but the easiest one is Sona. Sona is just ridiculously good in all elos right now, in my opinion. I think she's just like, you don't need too much of a brain to be able to play her, and the rewards are very high. And my favorite blind pick at the moment is Morgana. I think Morgana is starting to come out of the ranks a little bit more. As when Worlds happens, usually people start picking up more tanks. So if you're worried about that, if you're worried about like maybe picking a squishy enchanter or mage, and worried about that enemy team picking a Blitzcrank or a Leona or something, Morgana's a really good kind of pick to deal with those kind of champions. So yeah, solid. Like if you don't know what the enemy team's playing, Morgana is generally the champion that I would advise leaning more towards. So yeah, there's only less than 2 weeks now until the end of the season. I hope you guys can hit gold at least to get your I think it's champion Sejuani. Am I right, chat? Is it Sejuani that the end of season reward, Victoria Sejuani? I mean, not a support champion, but who knows? Next season, maybe she'll be support, right? So yeah, make sure you get gold so you can get the Sejuani. Other than that, hope the tier lists have helped you out the season. We'll probably do a tier list, a few tier lists still during preseason, and then the next season won't start until I believe early-ish January. I don't have an exact date for you, but it's always in like January time, after the Christmas season and stuff like that. So yeah, happy grinding out the last couple of weeks. Warning, solo queue is going to get really toxic. Games are probably not going to be that pleasant. So do play at your own risk. But yeah, all the best, chat. And yeah, go get gold. All right.